So what's the rule, if there is one, of sex on the first date, no sex on the first date? It's really hard.
I think that we need to avoid rules. Can I handle the consequences of having sex and this not turning into a relationship? You might jump into bed because the attraction is incredible and you wake up the next morning and say, oh my God, what have I done?
So what's the rule, if there is one, of sex on the first date, no sex on the first date? It's really hard to know.
I think that we need to avoid rules, first of all. You could have tons of experts saying, here's the rule, and it's 3 dates, or it's 5 dates, or it's 1 month, and it's not about that. It's about assessing what works for you. And so if you're a woman, probably sex on the first date isn't a good idea, not because it's not fun, but because men have double standards. They might agree to sex, but they might hold the fact that they're having sex against you, which isn't really fair, but it happens. So your goal as a woman is not to figure out whether you want to have sex, but whether you could handle the consequences of sex. If you get together with a guy and he never calls again, you have to be able to handle that, whether that's on date 1 or date 10. You have to understand if he's interested in sex or interested in you. Right? So if you understand that he's interested in you, then you have to ask yourself, once you know that he's interested in you and not sex, can I handle the consequences of having sex and this not turning into a relationship? And if you can handle the consequences, then you say, I'm not going to have sex until I'm in a committed relationship. And a committed relationship could happen after the first date. Some people have that magic. But you have to protect yourself as a woman. Don't worry about what he wants. If you're a guy and you've got the ability to walk away and say no, it gives you incredible power. Not just for the role reversal thing, which is, obviously a woman's going to say, huh? What? But you're thinking of the future, you're not thinking of the present. And that instant gratification thing often kills relationships, where you might jump into bed because the attraction's incredible and you wake up the next morning and say, oh my God, what have I done? I don't like her, I don't even know her. And things go wrong because you gave into that instant gratification. So I think for guys, if you want to have real power in a relationship, assess whether this is a person you really want to be in a relationship with before you sleep with her, and she's going to respect the hell out of you.
I was going to go back to that. It's about a woman feeling respected, and that will definitely get you a second date.
Yeah.
It always starts that barrage of questions. He didn't call me. Why didn't he call me? Was it because I had sex with him? But it's a win-win situation. Not having sex on the first date, it seems.
Not even having sex on the first date. Not having sex until you know where your relationship is headed. And it takes some willpower, but there's other fun stuff you could do. I mean, you're not left with nothing if you're refusing to have sex. I had a girlfriend and we waited 2.5 months because I didn't know if I was ready to commit to her. And she might have said, well, I could handle it, I'm a big girl. Well, I don't necessarily want the mess of sleeping with you and then breaking up with you that quickly. Unless I'm sure and I feel good about moving forward, it's easier for me to avoid any potential heartbreak and pull back a little bit. And I think it's most of my clients, my male clients who've implemented that, find that they have amazing results just by saying no.
That's great. I think it comes down to you get what you project, I believe. And if you project a sense of confidence in the first date or the second date or the third date, and part of that is understanding each other and enjoying each other without the sex.
Yeah, and when you talk about confidence, they say this in football, act like you've been there before. If you're the guy who's like, oh my God, sex, 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 please. Right?
It's not sexy.
No, you have to.
Not sexy.
Come on, we're probably around the same age. Could you picture the Fonz doing that? The Fonz doesn't do that. No, it's just like you're confident enough that it'll happen when you want it to happen, when you're both on the same page. You don't have to rush it. And when you do, it has even more meaning, and there's less of a likelihood that the whole thing's going to blow up in your face.
And you're saying your clients are typically 38 to 55. So sex isn't tops of the agenda. You said most of them want to get married. So you're looking at a long-term relationship. So you're looking at the entire picture.
Yeah, and listen, there's value to someone who is recently divorced and just wants to date and is not ready for a relationship. That's okay too. You're still, whether you're a man or a woman, you're playing with someone else's heart. And I think a lot of people sort of turn that side off and think, what do I want? Right, what are my needs? And with a partnership, you're always thinking of someone else's needs.
better start the partnership from the beginning. It gives it.
If that's what you're looking for, and there's nothing wrong with casual sex, and you know, like so caveat on all this stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
If that's what you're looking for, great, go. It's fun. But if you're serious about a relationship, you're probably best off holding out until you know where the relationship is headed.
Great first date advice from Marc Katz. Keep watching PeopleJam for more.